up and recording. Cool. So there you have it, guys. This is a 30-minute chart, and also was looking at support levels further down. Makes perfect sense. But what's interesting is we have this behavior. You can see it was grinding up. It's what we've been looking at for the last 4 or 5 days. But the behavior changed overnight. Very big drop. Well, not overnight, but yesterday. And this is where I begin to think maybe there's something going to happen. Again, the behavior changed, right? So maybe we can begin taking moves. We already have one big move down. We have the reversal. And things got, in my eyes, a little interesting here in the pre-market. For now, it's dropping. You can see there's room to the left in some of these tails up here. You got one here, you got this one down here. Might be setting up. There's sellers here, there's buyers here. This is just raw price action, not looking at levels. So my instinct is that the behavior is going to be different today than it has been in the last 5 days or so. But again, we know that we got all kinds of important news coming out tomorrow. So yeah, keep an eye on that. If the market doesn't want to go, don't force it. Just because you've been patient for the last 1 week doesn't mean, you know, it just moved today doesn't mean you're going to get a move today. Just wait for it. If it doesn't want to go, it doesn't want to go. That's really important. And just on levels, you know, something I was thinking about earlier today or even yesterday is we have this thing that the levels are areas, and we all heard that, but everyone seems to struggle with that because we draw a precise line on our chart, and then everyone wants to take a bounce or a breakout of that line on the chart, you know, without that. And usually we forget that it's an area, it's a zone. It could mess around there for a while before finding a direction. So I figured, you know, I was playing with this earlier. One simple thing that we can do is actually draw it as an area on the chart rather than a line on the chart. I'll give you a simple one here. You got, let's say, you got support here, got resistance overhead, you got turnarounds over here. So you can see this whole area is a bit of a turnaround area. Let's go from back here. This was resistance. And I'll bring the zone up here. You see that? Resistance, resistance, support, and then you get that big breakout through. So, and then when it came back, the double bottom happened in the area, not precisely. So this yellow or orange area here on the chart, I'd say at the moment is an area of support. So it could come in here, and if you find a support pattern or a pattern here where it's telling you the buyers are taking over, there's an opportunity. So you can see it's not precise, right? This is really important. I think this simple little tool of just shading a part on your chart where it tends to turn around, I think will be very, very, very useful. Just visually put it on your chart that it is not a level. It is an area. I'll show you another one here that's very much in the zone. We have this area of resistance, is double top here. Sure enough, it's up here as well. You can see what got up there, and it's been pushing down since yesterday. So let's just draw that. You got, let's put it there, because you see that's the top, and the double top is inside it. And this is pretty obvious resistance. Look at that. Pushed up and came right back down. So in this area, for now, you're getting the idea of resistance, right? It's been resistance before. It's been resistance more recently. So there you go. You have areas on the chart. Just make life a little easier for you. I like this. I haven't done this in a long time. I forgot about it and I remembered it yesterday and today. So, and again, I don't do the whole trend line thing. I get confused with that. I just like horizontal lines, horizontal areas. So we have this. So now this doesn't mean if the price, for example, today gets right up in here to the bottom of this area and starts to push down just a little bit, puts one little wick in, you start going short. No, don't do that. All it's telling you is that we know there's sellers up here. So if it gets up in here somewhere and gives you something that on your trade book makes sense that the sellers are taking over, there's an opportunity there, maybe. And the opposite down here. So again, this is what I like to do. This is what goes on in my mind. I'm always looking at it as an area. So now I'm just putting it on the chart visually for you to see. So there you go. And sure enough, in between, well, it's just been grinding up. You kind of want to be careful in here. So this is if you're using levels. Of course, people use all kinds of things, moving averages and stuff. And even moving averages, in my experience, are areas. It's almost like you should use a standard deviation of moving averages, those Bollinger Band type things, but much tighter. And they make more sense to me. So Give yourself some room in these places. Let the price do what it wants to do. And another point, you can see I've done this on a 30-minute chart, and I also take trades on a 30-minute chart. So I'm doing something a little different here, whereas most of the time we talk about go into a bigger time frame, a daily, a weekly, a monthly, and find levels and put it on. To me, if you just zoom out, there you go. Now it looks like a line chart. You can find turnaround points on this very easily, right? We found a couple already right there. See it right there. We got it up there. So you can do that. You can work on one time frame. I don't see a problem with it. If you have the 5-minute chart and you like it, zoom the heck out of it. You get 2 weeks of price action on your chart, on your screen. And just look at where it turned around. You're using it like a line chart. And then, you can watch the candles and pick your setups. Anyways, these are the few things on my mind that I want to bring into my trading again. I think it'll make life a little simpler. Other than that, again, I don't see a whole lot of fun. It's just messy. I took a couple of stabs at this thing earlier today, very, very small stuff. Basically, came down. I saw this long wick, it looked long, and I took the long here somewhere, took a tiny stop. And then these wicks happened with me. The previous one looked small, right? This is that big old ABCD pattern. So from down here, the reversal happened and trying to push it back up. And then I went long again above these hammers and took 1 or 2 tiny stops. It's all very, very small stuff in here. The targets are overhead. So nothing real, nothing serious, nothing that I would take seriously. And other than that, sit and wait. So that's all I've got for now. Anyone want to discuss anything before you open? Let me know. We have about 10 minutes. And oh yeah, anyone got the news for today? Anything on the schedule other than we know about tomorrow? But anyone got anything?
Yeah, we've got some news today. We have at 10, we have job openings, but these will be September data, will be released.
Okay.
I'm not quite confident. Everyone's waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the next big thing. We can see that the Fed Watch tool is almost 90%. People are expecting a rate cut tomorrow, a 0.25%. So let's see how this will play.
Okay. So if it's tomorrow, then well, what are we doing here, man? So I'm just going to go back to the beach. Forget about
it. We should, man.
I don't know what I'm doing here. This is silly. Drawing areas on the chart for no good reason. Thanks, though. Thanks. We got the schedule there. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What is interesting, though, we had these big hammers here earlier, 6:30 and 7. So let's look at this news that happened already and see if anything made that happen. This was all Taiwan rises in November. Okay, this is overseas here. Repay investors in loop oil. No, that was yesterday. Okay, here we go. AM. Morning big wobbling bonds find a level as Fed meets. Okay, there you go. A little interesting news. That happened at 6:58, just about 7 a.m. And what is this? Figura lives, dividend. Nothing important here. Fed fears dominate market sentiment. Fears dominate market sentiment. What the hell? Who came up with this nonsense headline? I bet somebody woke up out of the wrong side of the bed. Some, what do you call them? Analyst who gets paid to create headlines. And so decided to put something with fear in it, in the headline. Oh, sure enough, the market seems to be weak. And then the next one, Wall Street aims to bounce back. Look at that. Tell me you like to trade the news. You're getting contrary signals right here.
Exactly. I look at the news, what they're saying, and I try to do the opposite.
Yeah, do the opposite. Going contrary to pop culture, just modern society actually works really, really well for your health and your personal finances. And most things, in my experience. Yeah.
A couple of days ago, the news was natural gas is going to go up. It's been selling off since then.
Brilliant. Oh, yeah, look at that. A little peak and then down. I love it. Contrary, contrary, contrary. So do everything contrary. So what can we think about here? We have let's start with the simple stuff. Technical trading is very simple. You have a mountain of indicators. Everyone loves them, gets turned on by them. Take them all off and trade. They're contrary trading. And the other side of it, yeah, contrary to the news, as we just discussed. How about what else? Oh yeah, here's one. Yeah, I shared this yesterday with you guys. Add to your winners and cut your losers quickly. That's contrary. That's very contrary to what most people do. Because as soon as it goes towards their stop again, people become hopeful, move the stop out of the way, and think, oh, it's just going to go back in my favor. Sure enough, they'll blow up an account. I mean, all of you have done this, so have I. And on the other side of it, when the winner is going, people just take it quickly, take the profits quickly, thinking they want to lose money. The truth is, the money's not yours; it's unrealized. You just take tiny wins at that point, and no wonder you're not making money trading. So there you go. Contrary is, again, I like the way Tom Horvath says it. It's very simple. People should be fearful when they're hopeful and hopeful when they're fearful. So what that means is when you're in a position where you should stop out, that's when you should be fearful. Whereas most people become hopeful, like hoping it goes back in their favor, so they move the stop out. They remove their stop. Whereas that's when you should be fearful, and you should fear that you're going to blow up your account because it's going against you. So stop out right away. The other side of it, it's going in your favor, and that's when most people get fearful of the fact that you may lose unrealized gains. I mean, you don't have anything to lose. It's unrealized, right? But anyways, that fear. And that's when you should become hopeful. As an add to that position, bring your stop in tighter, let it run for the big target. Yeah, that's contrary thinking. Actually, the whole book he put out is all about how contrary thinking is what you need in order to make it in the trading world. I find it to be very, very, very true. Actually, I wish I read that book 5 years, 6 years ago. It took me all that time to learn that the hard way. I wish I just read the book. Anyways, so there you go. Contrary thinking. Important stuff, right? I do the same with investing, by the way. I've been doing that longer than I've been trading. Contrary investing. Anyways, let's see what we can work with here. This chart right now is a little more zoomed in than what I was looking at previously, like zoomed out like this, but zoomed in a little bit. It's still very much like a line chart. You can hardly see anything. But so just look to the left and look at that. You can notice you got these lows in the same place yesterday and a few days ago. And that is something I look for. Over here, what you're seeing is these lows are getting higher. The highs are getting higher. But what I like to see is when they're in the same place. That to me removes the guesswork. It's telling me right here, the buyers are here and they're here again. So, I mean, nothing to tell me they're not going to be here. They're still there. On the other side, you can see the highs right here in the same place. Sellers were here and the sellers were here. So that's a place that you expect them to be. And sure enough, we've seen that overnight. Let's zoom this in a bit and see what we can work with. Bringing this whole area. So those are the sellers we're working with. What can we do? Let me think. All right, put that in the middle. All right, we got there. We got, where did it truly go from? We got the sellers. Oh, it's a little bit lower. I'm looking at this turnaround right here. So sellers were there, sellers were lower, sellers were higher. Okay. And they pushed up even further a little bit. You can have this big choppy zone. So you can see this area right here. In a little more zoomed in perspective, you anticipate sellers just from previously. Then it got choppy, then broke out, came back into it. It's kind of sitting there now, right? But looking weak from there. Sure enough, look at that. I just noticed this now. Lower highs, just from yesterday, or just from overnight move. Lower highs, just mildly, and pushing down. So you got something there. Again, I'm really interested in the horizontal lines, horizontal price action, not in higher lows and lower highs and all that. I just want to be able to identify the zone where some buyers and sellers are. And I don't like moving targets, right? Targets that are stationary are easier to work with. So why want to make your life difficult? So that's something I would think about. On the downside, if you're looking down here below the price action, again, I'm seeing these higher lows. This was an obvious double bottom. Over here, like I said, these are the buyers down here. So If we work with them and we bring this up in here, there you go. Higher lows right in there. The buyers are firmly in this area. We'll just work with that. A little bit tighter so you can see how your areas are adjusted now, right? Just because it zoomed in a bit. Generally, I like to think if you're confused, if you're unsure, zoom out, all right, and put it there. That'll help clear the confusion and help you target bigger moves. Generally, what I look for. Again, if you're using levels. More recently, I'm just trying to use simple price action. But again, more recently, the market's not been tradable, according to me. So we'll wait and see. We have another minute to the open. Okay, let me know what you guys are into, what you want to talk about. I'll open up this 1 minute chart just for entertainment purposes. Once again, I don't anticipate taking a trade. I took one or two little stabs at it here, all tiny stuff. It's almost like trading the sim. I was sitting on the beach and the pool side, taking these little stabs at it. Fun, huh? You can do stuff like that, but all very small. You know, I don't trust it. So 30 seconds to the open. You guys know what to do, right? The market is a gold mine. It's been a bit tricky lately, but it still exists. And you want to make sure you're at the table when it starts to move properly, which means don't blow up today, right? Live to fight another day, always. Most important thing. And what, 10 o'clock? We have something to talk about. Some news. It was the jumping around before we open. There you go. Anyways, my eyes are on this chart mostly. Oh, look at that. It just closed that candle. You can see where the buyers are now in the smaller perspective. Man, room to the left is not quite real. You can see this whole choppy area right now. I think Sajid was talking about getting long beyond it. So again, this is where I identified some sellers at the moment, resistance. If it gets above there, then you think about longs. See what this looks like. What a disaster. Look at this. So the other side of it, this is interesting. I'm seeing it now. Lower highs, and we got this kind of flat box. It's not really flat, but you can see where the buyers are sitting. Multiple wicks. And so breakout has happened. Here's a retest happening now for the short. It'd be interesting, right? Go to the 1 minute. Print a bearish candle, put a stop right above it, and then you're in this thing going short. That might be a worthwhile position. Then I just target it way down here. De-risk it as it regains this area. Maybe put a little profit in. That could be fun. Let's see if this closes. Closes bearish. But a tiny stop. I mean, this is going to be... Oh, no, it's not tiny. It would be 5 points. So it's not as tiny as I'm used to. Not as tiny as I was expecting, because these candles are big. I forget the open. So that candle did not close bearish. If it did, I may have been interested to short here, but no. It's indecision. More bearish than bullish, but indecision. Not good enough on a 1 minute. Can even wait for the 30 minutes to close bearish. Let's see. I'll wait for it. That was close. That was the closest I got to taking a trade at the open in like 6 months, it feels like. Trading like an amateur, trading at the open. Go smaller if I'm going to do it. It's a 5 contract. It's not more than that. And put this. Ooh. I can use that. There we go. Keep an eye on it. Well, what's interesting is, if it was truly bearish, I'd see more. But actually, hold on a second. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I see it. I see it now. This is the bearish candle. All right. Let's see if we can take the short here. 5 contracts. There we go. And all right. Lucky us. We got a trade at the open. We'll stop in place. Right up here. Where's the stop? I forgot how to do this. Stop, buy stop. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Basically makes a new high. And I won't be interested in it. All right. Let it move away from there, then I'll de-risk it and put the profit targets in. So a decent little setup. Again, not ideal. It's wide, big candles. I'm not gonna put 10 or 20 contracts on this. Let's see. What's convinced me is this price action right here. This is an area where it's been basically resistance. I'm noticing the lower highs. You have the breakout in the pre-market. I was curious about the long, but more than the long, actually the short makes more sense if you're looking at a big old reverse ABCD pattern here. Let's see. So totally zoomed out now. It's close to the stop. It's either going to get me or it's going to go. Either way. Small stuff. There you go. That one got me. And it printed a new high too, so forget about shorting it now. No way. I'll leave it alone. The RVR would have been good. You saw how tight that was. It would have been beyond 5-1 to this area down here. So when you get those situations, that's when it's worth it. You can take a few stabs at it, right? You can take 5 stop outs without a problem, especially if you're just risking tiny amounts, and then you get the 10R, 5R, whatever. You need 2 out of 10 to work, but it still takes a whole week to take 10 trades. Don't forget that. So be going to bed many nights with a red piano. Get used to it. Look at that. Printed higher, but then I put in a wick as well. Overall, I'm not convinced of any of this. This is all 1 minute nonsense. But it's let's get through this 30-minute candle. I think that makes more sense. Again, I want to show the point here that this is an area that could go up in here and come back down, right? An area where most recently it's been pretty good with sellers. Yeah, and above that would be fun. If it gets to the upper half of the area up in here, puts in a big old breakout pattern or something, that would be fun. Who else blew up? There you go. I had a blow up today. Anyone else? No?
I had two bad trades on gold.
Well,
Not bad trades.
Red is not a bad trade. Just make sure it's not a bad trade. You saved your account. That's a good thing.
The first one was a breakout setup in the pre-market towards 8 a.m.
Okay.
And I was looking at that on the 5 minutes chart.
Looking to go up long, huh?
Yeah. See the one, this one. I took it long, and it didn't go, so I stopped. That was good. But the second one, after it dipped, I thought, okay, I'll just take it long again. I took it long again, and I added to it, and it went against me.
It don't want to go.
Yeah, don't want to go. And now it's giving me like FOMO. Pure, like it did the move I was looking for on the second trade, and not all of it. I was looking at it to go to the high of the market and keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tricky.
Something I'm watching now.
What's interesting here is if you're looking at this chart, you had this hammer down here signaling a reversal.
Yeah.
But it's a tricky one because it's not been in a firm downtrend. It's been more just chop and then room to the left, put in a hammer, tells you buyers are there. But I won't take these buyers and trust them. I would wait for it to break out of a significant resistance, which is up here. So this reverse happens and it gets up to this level, and the breakout from here, if it holds above, we go into a small time frame, 5 minutes, 1 minute or something, find a breakout, a retest. That's the place I'd be interested in it, which is again not it's in that area now. It's dropped from there, but if it goes back in now, you're getting into chop, but then the breakout further up, which makes more sense. We have this high, which is also high yesterday, looks like right up there. So you're getting interesting price action going through areas of recent resistance. Firstly, the reversal, it claimed this resistance, turning it into support, it looks like. Let's see if it goes. And then you have the further up resistance more recently. If it turns that into support, now you're into this area. And you're likely to get up into these sellers up in here. So there's a long opportunity, I think, if it gets all that. And now it's not there. But you can see there's a couple of different setups. There's a long as a reversal, there's a long as a breakout, and waiting for the next breakout. So I would struggle to think of this as short.
Yeah, I was taking it long.
Yeah, long makes sense. Makes sense. Just look to the left, I think, and I think there's opportunity in it probably if it goes up a little more. Wait for a few candles, a few 30 minutes. I think it could be fun.
Let's see if it will set up.
Wait for it. So just looking at Apple, all right. Take a look at Apple, guys. Something's going on there. If you're interested in such things. What is the CL? I forget. Oh, this is oil. Shit, 1 minute chart. That's ridiculous. Let's look at oil on a daily chart. Oh, right. I forgot. I just remember the contracts roll over. Who's familiar with this future stuff? When should we roll over the contracts next quarter? Where are we now? 9th of December. These contracts, well, the ES one I'm looking at expires this month. I think it's the 23rd or something. Probably roll over now, huh? Stop trading this one. We have a couple of weeks to go.
Yeah, just keep an eye on the volume.
Keep an eye on what, sir?
On the volume. Like which contract is trading bigger volume?
What is that? What is volume? What is that?
Yeah, that's an indicator.
I haven't got a fucking clue about that.
Never heard of that.
Just tell me when to switch, damn it. I'm not going to look at the fucking volume.
Okay, we keep it posted.
That's all good.
Tariq just created that new indicator volume. Never heard of that.
Yeah, brand new. Well, let's call it Avinacci or something. Volume, my goodness. Volume was interesting. I mean, there was a way to use it. There is a way to use it. I used it, okay, but again, I got into so many false positions that now I get into less positions. So at least the way I perceive it, it's not been useful to my trading. Never added any benefit. And once I removed it on my trading, I actually got smoother, got slower, less entries, even less exits. Well, now I don't even take partials, but when I used to, I would end up partialing a little too heavily. So volume never worked for me truly effectively. But as a scalping, the level 2 worked for me really well when I was scalping. Beyond that, not so useful. But anyways, yeah, there's ways to use things. There's plenty of ways. This daily chart, man, what a mess. It's still in a mess. We were talking about this yesterday on the ES. It hasn't gone anywhere. Yeah, we saw a big drop and got excited yesterday. Look at that, everyone dropped, and I'm thinking, behavior might change as well, but it's bigger perspective. Zoom out, and it's telling you it's still pretty much where it wants to be. It's kind of difficult to target these massive moves in here. The big conviction I was getting earlier was these hammers on a 30-minute right there. These big ones, buyers coming in. They came in again in the same place, but yeah, let's see if it gets above. But really, again, the breakout up here, I think Sajid was talking about this, the breakout of this high a couple days ago. That's the fun one. Until you get up there, it's going to be tricky. And going short, you just look to the left, you can see the buyers stepping up. You don't really want to go against them, right? If you're planning a huge trade, you don't want to go against them. Like the short I just took would have taken it into basically yesterday's low, not much more than that. And you can see it's just a mess. So on a daily chart, what looks like a mess provides plenty of scalping opportunity on the 1 minute chart. But again, it depends if you like that. What we got here, Jules, you're saying you can't seem to read volume either. You haven't gone through my course, have you? Huh? I talked about volume, how to use it, or at least how I used it. Yeah, it's all right. Volume. And I'll show you guys something. Look at this. I found this interesting. Let's do it on the 1 minute. I was playing with this a couple weeks ago. I'm not using it, but where is it? Yeah, equally volume charts. Look at that. No volume indicator, but it is actually printing. It is telling you about volume within the candle. So the wider the candle, the more volume. And these are not just lines; these are actually candles. But when the market was closed, it's just that they're really narrow because there's less volume on them. You see that? The ones with more volume are wider, so they stick out. I was playing with this, but not my style of trading. But in a simple way of looking at volume, it kind of brings your attention to where the volume was heavier. And if you have volume as an indicator, this is a simple way to receive that information rather than having it as a separate indicator. I think this is useful, again, for you guys who like volume. So if I was doing this price action, see this red one that just printed? Very bearish. Big volume on that. It's the widest candle here since the open. Room to the left on the top of it. So, and it's been going, basically had a mild move up since then. So if I was using all this and using this price action, if it made a new low below this candle, that would be an entry for a short. The stop would find a seller right above. Ideal stop is way up there. That's 10. So find a seller. You got this seller right here in that first candle. So put it right above that open candle. Entries down here, and see if that goes. So that's how I would use it. When I used volume, that's exactly how I used it. It's interesting, huh? It's, again, there are a million different ways to trade. There's no wrong way, except the way that your losers are bigger than your winners, then you're trading wrong. That's the only wrong strategy. So it's not about strategy, is it? And we still got 14 minutes to the news. I still don't have a story for you guys today. Spent so many hours in the sun today. I think my brain is fried. Can't come up with a story. What am I supposed to tell you? The popsicles were delicious. The weather is good. The water's clear. You can see the fish swimming right on the beach. What else do you want to know about? The coffee was good. Probably bore you guys to death. Huh? You can see how clean these setups were in here. Here. And then, yeah, I think since I looked at this about 1,000 times. This drop yesterday, I'm trying to think, how would I have caught this? And there's no way. I don't have a strategy on this. On a 30-minute chart, the closest I came was these lower highs with wicks on them and the breakout of the support there. But it's not a strategy I use. It's too risky. This is a key level. You have there was resistance and it turned into support. Quite precise, actually, this one. But I don't see myself getting involved in this. So basically, no serious trade, no serious setups, no serious trade for the last 1 week of price action. This is a good one on volume too. You can see, again, I'm using everything as naked trading, naked candlesticks. So using the volume on this one, I would have suggested the entries below the low of this red candle, which hasn't happened. So you wouldn't have entered yet. If it makes a new low without having made a new high, then you have an entry. Now, the other thing too, that would be interesting, that seems to be happening now, is if it starts to make lower lows, and then it makes a new low below this big candle. Now you have even more conviction for the short. Basically, you know, the sellers are taking over, pushing the highs lower and lower. Now you got something. That's something very, very interesting. So try that. And that's the stuff I used to look at with volume. But again, you see, you're still looking at price action. You can't just go blind on volume, obviously. Price action is always the key. What do we got here? So just Apple, Omar, news at 10. Yep, that's right, Omar. Oh, he's in Apple as well. All right. Cool. Whenever you guys got a moment, tell me what's going on with Apple, because I have no clue. I don't even buy Mac products anymore, iPhones or anything. I have my reasons. You know what? I'm curious about a 30-minute chart. Let's put this on this equi-volume chart. I don't mess with this. Let's do it on this one. And see what we can come up with. There we go. Yeah, fair enough. The volume's there when the US market's open. You can see what a different perspective this gives you. So on this big drop that happened yesterday, the volume, again, no indication that I see that I would have gotten involved with it. Nothing. Sure enough, volume now, the market's open. What about here? The move's already over by the time you see the big candle. You see, you're seeing it like this. It dropped here, then it and then it got green, and then can't make a decision on that. Price is still very range bound, so it's not really useful. The range bound market will get pretty well chopped up on this kind of chart. That's the tricky part. Same thing with moving averages, right? Range bound, and every time it's above the average, you go long. Oh man, shit, I'm gonna blow it all up. Okay, now this thing seems to want to go up. It's printed, is it? Yes, just printed a new high. So I would not be thinking about a short. And wait and see. All right, enough of this volume stuff. You guys got me all distracted. There we go. Look at this. Gray and white candles. It doesn't get easier. It just doesn't. I'll show you guys what I'm doing on the 1 minute chart, just as I was doing with the 30-minute. Totally zoomed out, and so you can look at it almost as a line chart, really. And you're just looking for massive turnaround points. So let's get our little area thing here. Where is it? Horizontal. There we go. Region. This is the obvious resistance area. You can see that turned around very sharply right there. Okay, just put a level right about there. And let me think. You got, oh yeah, see this? When it got up there first and it dropped and then pushed back up, and that was the middle of that kind of double top, not really double top, but you know what I'm saying. So I'd put it here. This is the area where the sellers seem to come in. Oh, look at that. Breakout, retest, pretty precise. So anyways, up here is where the sellers are sitting. Right? And right now we're pushing up into that. Let's do it on the downside and see what we can work with. We got still not used to this. Sure enough, this happened now, but you got this area, obviously, where the wick was. It's also in the same place. You had all these. Oh, well, it's a big reversal. It's a messy one, but way down here is the lowest end of it. And I'd say up here, and see that once it truly broke out of this tiny resistance, it went, right? So this whole area is where the buyers seem to want to play. And sure enough, going into the open today, where are we? 9:30. There it is. So bought straight from there. Bounce straight from there. Now we're going straight to up there. There you go. So it's the same thing I did on the 30-minute, just doing it on the 1 minute. And if you like to do this, it's not difficult. Again, using the same time frame for finding your levels as well as for trading. Not too hard. Yeah. Let's see, it's getting up there. Let's see what it does. The 30-minute, yeah, it's just in an area, a bigger area. You can see the big difference, right? But again, I really want to show you guys that levels are not levels. Whoever told you that is full of shit. You know, the only levels that actually made sense as far as precision is concerned are Avinacci levels. You need me to repeat that? You know what? I want to repeat that. The only levels that ever made sense in trading are Avinacci levels. Cool. I like the way it sounds.
What are you trying to sell us, man?
There you go. I'm just having some fun here. Got nothing better to do. Make one tiny stop and then got nothing better to do. But yeah, levels are areas. I mean, no matter what, Avinacci levels, whatever, measured moves, they're always areas, man. They're always areas. And it's in these areas that you look for the setup that you're interested in, long or short. If they come around, all right, that's the place where you may enter, like within this area. So I know this seems to be where things turn around. But on this 30-minute picture, if you're entering, let's say, long right here, the stop's got to be on the other side of the area. So it's quite wide, right? Makes it tricky. So maybe just wait for it to exit the area. Perhaps if it's long, wait for it to get out there, breakout, retest, something like that, and then go. That would make sense. Because it's just too wide. Again, areas, always areas. Everyone gets all stuck on precision and then many stop outs and then gets sold another indicator. Now you got to add this and that, and then go buy some trade signal stuff. Ugh. It's just areas. This is exactly how it works in my head nowadays. It's an area. That's why I don't like to put levels on charts anymore. Just not even worth it. And you guys saw me with the Avinacci levels that I used earlier this year. I was always taking trades around the area, never precisely at the level. Price action may respect the level, but not every candle respects the level, right? You'll have 1 or 2 when the candles bounce precisely, and it looks like the level is perfect. It's not. It's just in the area. That's all. Always an area. In the end, price action is king. All right, let's see what we got here. This one is getting up there. Pull back as normal, as expected. Yeah, what do we have? So if you look at breakouts, 1, 2, 3, just a little push up, consolidate. You can see these. This is nowhere near going down. It still looks like it wants to go up. I'd anticipate sellers up here. So if you're in this ORB or whatever it is, going long, that's where you take your profits in, just about. Yeah, take it now. Start taking it off. So you don't know where the sellers are in that area. They're going to be there somewhere. And here we are. This is so wide on the 30. My goodness. More recent price action brings it in to here. And overhead. Let's see if this makes sense. Yeah, you can see those again. To the sellers in pretty much the same place, almost precisely there. Yeah, that would make sense. Again, what's more important for me beyond areas and levels is actual price, the price. Right? If the candlesticks finding buyers, I'm going long. If candlesticks finding sellers, I'm going short. Not on a 1 minute chart, on a 30-minute. I really want a 30-minute neat, clean setup. And what's interesting now is just printed above these hammers, right? Without actually dropping the low of the hammers, did it? No, it didn't. Right there. So, as far as naked trading is concerned, the entry above the hammer makes sense, but stop way down there. It's too wide. I'll wait for it. And where are we? Oh, there we go. There's your seller. Who got this? Anyone got this? This looks like fun. How many points is this move? 48 to 65. You're getting close to 20 points on this. That's okay. That's decent. You actually make quite a lot of money on that. Personally, I try to target 50 points and up, but this is still plenty, especially for you guys scalping. This is going to seem like a big thing. Again, here's another fun point. If you found your entry down here, if your setup was down here, whatever it was, going long, you don't watch it along the way. You just don't. You put the targets in there and you set it to, let's say your stop's down here. Once it gets halfway to your target, in this case, you could put it where the software just moves their stop to break even. Let's say your entry is here, just break even once it's in here. So then you're risk-free. So 10 minutes after your entry, risk-free, and then maybe 10 or 15 minutes after that, you hit your targets. And you're done for the day. Ninja Trader has all this. A lot of platforms have all this. Auto break even and stuff like that. Very, very effective and simple. I mean, it doesn't get simpler. Sometimes I wonder why I don't trade this 1 minute chart. As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't have entered this. I don't see any sort of entry. ORV, but that's way up here. Candlesticks. Yeah, nothing would have convinced me to enter this chart, this trade. The buyers took over, but not the way I like it. Anyways, you know they're sellers up here, so watch them. Yeah, Brian, OCO orders in Ninja. You see this OC at the top of the screen? That means I'm in OCO mode. I can enter OCO orders. There we go. Oh, where's the news, right? Any minute now. 30 seconds. What's this? Old news, September news. Going to be released now, apparently. If the government is still not shut down. Oh, look at that. So it says NQ is still within the 5-minute ORB. Hasn't broke out yet. So today it's lagging the ES. Compared to yesterday, the NQ was leading. Now go and work with correlations. Oof. Yeah, all right. 10 a.m. That's the news. Anyone finds out what the news is, please share. I'm just looking at a candlestick being very entertaining. I figured algos would have reacted by now to the news. I don't see a massive reaction. Hasn't made any new highs, new lows, no nothing. Anyone got insights? Oh, there we go. Brian got it. 7.6 versus 7.1 joules. Sounds like good news. What is joules? Job openings? Anyways, it hasn't affected much over here. But look at this. Look at this. It's very interesting. You guys see this long tail wick right here? This long tail candle with the hammer, almost like a hammer. It's tempting, right? Make a new high go long. Definitely not. Absolutely not. Because there's no room to the left. It's just chopping. Since what, 10 minutes, it has not made a new high or a low. This is chop. Absolute chop. Sellers sitting overhead most likely. Buyers are still, no. Well, the sellers are not pushing it down yet. The buyers have to overwhelm them. Right now, nobody's made a decision. So please don't touch this. This is chop. 30-minute. Look at that. It's been chopped since yesterday. Since overnight. Just broke out. Can't make it. On the daily, what do you think? Very much chop. Not worth playing with. There we go. Joel says job openings and labor turnover survey. Thank you. Cool. More things being put out there by Wall Street to make things look complicated, right? Fantastic way of doing sales. Everything is sophisticated and complicated. You can't do it. Give your money to the hedge funds. Haven't we heard that a million times? Have you ever seen a candlestick? Seriously, if I ever bump into another hedge fund manager or someone on Wall Street marching down Wall Street with a suit on, starts talking to me, I'll just tell them, hey, have you seen a candlestick? Do you know what it is? You know you can make millions of dollars based on a candlestick in your pajamas? It's probably how I would be in that conversation. There we go. NQ finally joining the party. Cool. Going up. NQ want to go. Oh, there we go. Well, this is ES. And yep, look at that. Big push. So the buyers finally decided to man up and push through into these sellers up here. That is interesting. Now I see we have this consolidation chop. Now we just had the breakout. This probably happened on good volume. If you like such things, now wait for the retest. And retest is not the yellow lines. It is the price, the previous high. Right? Price action first. Areas and levels come second. What do we have here? On a 30-minute as well, you can see this obvious top right at most recent highs. If we get a breakout retest on this, I'd be interested to go long in this area up to the next area. Big round number overhead. I attempted that earlier here with these hammers, tiny positions. Actually, the whole hammer thing has worked out so far, but we'll see. We see ES 68, 68.50 is resistance. Yeah, pretty much where it just hit its head, right? 68, 68.50, yeah, just about. That's the high of day so far. Fun. Actually getting a little bit better price action now than we did in the last 1 week. It's good because now we have something to talk about rather than me coming up with stories and boring you guys to death. Right? Anyone knows what happened with Apple? You guys were all talking about it, and I'm not looking at it. Let us know.
Yeah, I lost 1 hour on Apple.
Congratulations. That's a good congratulations because you did not blow up the account. You could have lost 3 hours if you took your stop away. So 1 hour is perfectly normal part of the game. I lost 1 trade too now. So that totaled, I think, 3 trades so far today lost. All for less than 2 hour, probably, if you look at the P&L. I'll put them on tiny sizes. So that's a success. You put on risk and you didn't blow up. Success. That's you giving yourself a chance to make money. You keep doing that, you'll make money. Contrary thinking. All right, so 1 minute chart. Looks like the sellers really don't want the price to go up for now. Look at that.
Looks like we need to shut down the laptop. Nothing.
Yeah. Shut it down. Shut it down. I'm gonna go back to the beach. We have this whole night beach thing here now. Now, the last couple of years, where they put these massive lights on a place called Kite Beach, and night swimming is legalized, if that's even a thing. But yeah, it's cool. The beach is packed and fun, volleyball, all kinds of things. And it's like a little city on the beach. Fun. Who's in town? Who wants to go? I'll be there in 30 minutes. Better off there than looking at these candles go the wrong direction all the time. What do we get here? Oh, you close at break even. Very good. So just out there. See ya. Good, Mahi. That is a success as well. Congratulations. Break even. Anything outside of blowing up is a success. Because I tell you what, man, as we all know, something like 95% of people who attempt trading fail, meaning blow up or quit. And you're not in that 95% by taking a break-even day or break-even stop or a 1 hour stop on a single trade, or not just stopping out at 1 hour on every trade that you take. That's a success. Now you're in the top 5%. And now you've set yourself up for genuinely making money. So sellers are exactly as we expected them, or exactly where we expected them to be. and showing themselves, but not in full control yet. A funny picture here. 30-minute, you could almost short it. This is what I had in mind earlier, right? You short up here. I was telling you guys the sellers are in this area. Yeah, got these wicks here. High and a high and a high and a high. Seller everywhere. And oh yeah, look at that. I didn't look at that until now. You see these two wicks over here? That was firm support, breakout, retest. It already happened. Same thing's happening. Again, more conviction on this chart telling you that the sellers are right here, right at the high of the day today. They've been here the last few days. Oh, look at that. So, where are we? Yeah, right there. It's funny how it just aligns nicely on the 1-minute chart. If you believe the 30-minute, you short up there, de-risk at the bottom here, which is don't take profits, but will you stop to break even? Then if it goes back up from there, no loss. But if it goes down from there, oh boy, that's your $1 million. I will happily take 2 or 3 R loss every day for 30 days straight for 1 or 2 of these $1 million trades. Yeah, no problem at all. So I'm always trying to set myself up for these big ones. I'll take a half-hour loss very commonly, or break-even loss very common. No big deal. In my head, every trade is a big trade, as in target the big move. So give yourself a chance for it, for the big move. What you got, Evo? Took a quick scalp earlier on Wolf. Ooh, break even. All right, good. See in your hand, see if proper setup arrives. Don't trade the day for FMC. Yeah, smart. Don't trade the day before or the day of. Wolf sounds exotic. Cool. Break even is good. Break even is very, very good, especially in this environment that we've been in. And look at this mess. So is tiny losses. That's good too. That's a success again, like I said earlier. And let's see. Yeah, that's a mess here. Again, I'm not trusting any of this price action. I could, we saw we could anticipate sellers up here. But just looking at this candlestick pattern here, there's nothing to tell me to go short. Nothing on 1 minute. And again, I don't trade the 1 minute. I'm interested in the 30. What will be more interesting, I believe, is actually the breakout because of the higher lows and these hammers in here. But again, like we said, you just, it's a day before big news, so still very hard to trust it for a serious move, for a trend. Like I said, you're better off at the beach. Maybe we should do that. Instead of doing our little group therapy sessions here every day, why don't we just show up when it's a day that we should show up? I could tell you, if we did that for the last 2 weeks, I'd say, no, let's talk tomorrow, let's talk tomorrow, let's talk tomorrow. And we'd probably end up next year. If that saves you a lot of bandwidth, we could do that. Doesn't bother me. I actually like coming up here and effectively testing myself. Just to know that I don't get involved when I shouldn't get involved. Or even if I do get involved when I shouldn't, I put it on in such a tiny way that a loss wouldn't matter at all. But literally sim trading, almost. All right, anyone else who did not blow up today, raise your hands. It's a different kind of question. So we had a few good 1 hour stops, break-even stops. Jasmine, you good? Good. And who else we got? Let me look at this. I can't even see. There we go. Jasmine, Nasser, Jules, Brian, Oliver, Kundan. There you go. Darius. Oh man, this is great. Oliver. Nice. This is a success. We should actually have a poll out, and I should keep the statistics on this. How many days can you show up and not blow up? And then as a group, we can look at the results and see, how we're all performing. Of course, only if you answer the poll correctly, honestly. And, realistically, that's a very good thing, because you show up and don't blow up, you're doing nothing but setting yourself up for 7-figure trading. Really, I'm telling you that. Every single day, show up and don't blow up. You are really setting yourself up for making really good money without a lot of effort. Once you get into the habit of not blowing up, once you create the instinct of decisively stopping out, no matter how much you trust the setup or believe it or how long you waited for it to come, you build that habit of truly fucking saving your account, protecting it like it's your child. You build that, that's instinct. Once it's instinct, then that's really, you've done the majority of what you need to do for making a lot of money in this business. That's the 80-20 of it. Very, very important. It took me about $500,000 to figure that out. So there you go. That's a $500,000 lesson for you. Can't believe I lost that much early on. Not smart, huh? What do we got here? Either once you get your trading plan together and find consistency with that plan and the proper mindset, then the green arrives, but only as good as your last trade. Yes, that's all good. Yes, it's a very good point here. Figure out your trading plan and consistency to stick to it with the mindset, as you mentioned. Now, it's the mindset that makes you stick to your rules, right? Again, in the beginning, it's discipline. Only in the beginning, because it's difficult to do. It's difficult to stay out of the market. You see a cattle move, you want to be involved, you get in. So to stop yourself from doing that, that takes discipline. You keep your rules written down right in front of you, and you follow them as you trade. Now, if you can do that for 3 weeks, 1 month, every single day, follow your rules. Whatever the P&L results are irrelevant, but just the results should be that you followed your rules. What you'll notice is, just on the side of human nature, is that what was discipline has now turned into instinct. And you're doing it instinctively without thinking about it. It's not discipline anymore. Now it's fun. Now it's not touching it when it's not there for you. That's a fun thing, is you're just being you. You're not trying. There's no effort. It all becomes effortless. Just show up and be you, be yourself. And then when the setup is there, you put it on, and then you build an instinct later on when you get more experience. The instinct of adding to these winners and just exploding your trading. On the other side of it, getting perfect setups, getting into it, and then stopping out when it doesn't work. You're building these instincts, and these become fun things to do. Now, to get to that point, honestly, it takes only a month. It shouldn't take a lot more than that. And what I'm saying takes a month is building the instinct. It's just like resetting your circadian rhythm. The first few days you try to wake up at sunrise, it's going to be tricky. But really, you do it for a week, and your body gets pretty used to opening your eyes at sunrise. It's amazing how the body rhythm works, a circadian rhythm, and then it's no longer discipline, it's habit, it's instinct. The body just kind of does it. And so you can make trading that way, and this is an amazing capacity that we have as human beings. This is the most powerful way to trade, really. I'm telling you, this is how I've scaled up to all the levels of trading that I've done. And even now, it's you saw me take a little stop out earlier, no big deal. It's instinct to decisively get out, and also decisively to put on a small risk when I know the setup isn't exactly what I look for. But if it worked in my favor, I may have added in as I was able to move the stop in tighter, perhaps. A little bit of active management in the beginning, and then let it run. And this would have not been any sort of calculation. You guys have seen me do this 1,000 times live over here. It's all instinct at this point. So build that instinct. It's so powerful. It's so fantastic, and it's fun and profitable. It's everything. But only comes with the hard work in that first, let's just call it 1 month. That's about as long as it takes for a human being to build a new habit. Not much more. If you just gotta stay disciplined, that's it. Make the rules really simple to follow. Your rules. For me, it's just candlestick patterns. So whatever your rules are, make it easy. And then stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. And again, don't look at the result of the P&L. Look at the result of your performance. Did you stick to it or not? So important. P&L will work itself out at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, whatever. Don't worry about that. This is you setting yourself up for the big ones, for really being in this business for a long time. Every good trader I know, successful or consistent trader, this is how they do it, really. Focus on the process and make it instinct. It's pretty cool. There you go, Eva. You know about it. Typically 30 days to create and develop new habits. Yep. And we've seen it. We've seen it plenty. We just talked about circadian rhythm, talk about exercise, talk about nutrition, talk about anything, man. Anything on this in this world. Go and try and do it. Don't just do it because you're motivated now. You'll do it for an hour. Do it, put it on the calendar, on your routine, and do it every day, or whatever your routine is for the month. And then you realize that, you feel weird if you don't do it. Because you're just so used to it. Your body's used to it, your mind and body. Build it that way. Build anything that way. You really want to perform at your potential, your best potential in any damn thing. I mean, I've done that with sports. I've done that with guitars and playing music and writing music. It's always the same thing. Always the same thing. Discipline first, everything else falls into place. Just taking advantage of human nature. Very powerful, man. You don't need to go fight it. You don't need to go be a sucker for another course or whatever. You just don't. It's not necessary. Jasmine, you're working steadily on changing the mindset. Yeah, it's tough to get there. Mindset is important. Obviously, that's what I mean. You set your rules in place, and then it's the mindset of discipline that you got to execute. You got to execute discipline every day. Then your mind shifts from discipline to instinct subconsciously. You don't even know it. It happens in your sleep one night, whatever. It just happens. It's tough. You got to do it. I mean, I don't recommend fighting yourself when you're trading. I just don't think you should be doing that. You gotta start training yourself so it becomes easy. With that one, very simple language. Then you're in the zone. You're in flow, right? You guys know about flow. I mean, I put all that stuff in the course too. Go take a look. But it's and if you guys who haven't seen it, by the way, it's in my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. It's all for free. It's all there. Just look at it. All about your best performance happens when you're in the zone. But to get in the zone, there's a way to do it. This whole discipline thing we've just been talking about is one big piece of it. And then you become instinctive and you lose track of time. Then everything is just fun. And it's not only the best of your best performance coming out, it's also the best experience as per the studies and all. The best experience the optimal experience for a human being is to be in the zone, be in flow. Right? So once you're in the zone, you're actually performing at your best and you're having the most fantastic experience that a human being can experience. So you want to try and get in the zone as often as you can. It's fantastic. And again, I know this from sports and music and various things, flying airplanes, and I've studied books on this stuff as well. And now, more recently, like last 8 years or whatever, in trading and being in the markets here. Get in the zone. Very, very good. What do you got here, Evo? Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, Evo. Discussing discipline, mental edge we need to develop in order to become profitable traders. Yeah, sure, Evo. You're welcome. That's what this is about, And I'm serious. Like, it's so funny. Mentorship, I tell you guys, I've said this many times before, but it's not the mentor's job to teach you a strategy. You want that? Go online. It's there for free. All my strategies are there for free on our YouTube channel. Go take a look. You don't need to be in here if you believe that's gonna make you a profitable trader. Just go look at those 5-minute videos and you got what you need. If you believe you just need strategy, but the mentor's job is to help bring the best out of you, not to teach you a strategy, but to help bring the best out of you. Whatever your little niggles are, little struggles, little whatever, help you create a trading habit that is a good reflection of your personality. So you're really just taking advantage of your personality, right? And bringing it out in trading rules to begin with, and some discipline, a month of discipline to stick with it. Truly, that's the best thing, and that's the mentor's role, is to help to bring the best out of you, not to teach you strategy. That's why I'm not going to sit here and tell you, okay, this is what a breakout is, man. Shit, how many times do you want to do that? And sure enough, no matter how many times you do it, you still have a 95% failure rate, right? So it doesn't work. It's bullshit. What works is stepping out of your skin and making a decision that you are better, not will be better, but you are better now. You just choose it. It's a choice. You don't decide one day you're going to be a trader or a good trader. No, you just decide it right now, and immediately you already becomes easier to do the things that a good trader would do, a consistent trader would do, whatever those things are in your head. That's what you got to be thinking about. Seriously, if it was just about strategy, I'd just sell you a bunch of videos. But they're all online. They're all free. It's really not about that. Think about those things, man. And you start getting those things right, you'll stay the heck out of this kind of market. This last, 2 weeks or so, this whole disaster. There you go. There's my story for today. Guys asking about stories all the time. Any more guys, anybody ask me one more time about strategy. You see, I'm going to have a fit. Okay? A real fucking hissy fit. Okay? No more strategy. Candle goes up, candle goes down. That's all there is. Forget about it. Focus on the big stuff. What are we looking at here? Yeah, candle went up into the area we anticipated sellers and went down, and it's stuck. And I don't feel like blowing up today, so I'm not going to touch it. Get it. In this situation, there's no entry anywhere here. In this situation on the daily, it's just saying to stay away. It's still in the choppy zone. You can see it, right? Don't have to mark it out for you guys. It was bullish, and then it got stuck. That's it. Right. Anyone got anything else you'd like to discuss other than hissy fits? Nobody blew up. That's good. Well, raise your hand if you blew up. You won't. I know you won't. I'll raise my hand. Yeah, I blew up. Lost what? 1 or a quarter of an hour or something. All right. Seems like you guys know what you're doing. Everyone's good. All silent. My suggestion is stay the heck away from the market. The price action is proving itself to be very, very complicated, unnecessarily choppy. So stay away from it. Come look at it in an hour, maybe. See if it's gone anywhere. If it hasn't, come back the next day. Tomorrow we'll see all that FOMC stuff. And then maybe we'll get some decent moves in it. Decent setups. That would lead to good moves, hopefully. And that's all there is. It's really not a complicated business. All right, guys. Thanks for your time. Hope you all had fun with this. And we'll come back tomorrow and try and do it all over again, okay? Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Avi.
Yep, you're welcome, guys. See you.